Yeah. Nightmare in Manchester, like Manchester. Everybody talks like this. Oh, what's going on in Manchester? An attack, horrible. There was no doubt about that. Guy had a vest on.
Really?
Yeah, he had a vest, and this is what it sounded like when the cops, because they called the real police. No, not the guys. Yeah, we need somebody here quick. Why? Somebody's trying to kill a whole bunch of people. Do you want the guys with the whistles or the guys with the guns? They said the guys with the guns. They showed up, and then it got gnarly.
Everybody else, get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay with casualties! Everybody else, he has a bomb! Go away!
He's got a bomb on him! He's got a bomb on him! Mate, he's got a bomb! Man, he's got a bomb on his jacket, mate! He's trying to go in and now.
And that's how that went.
That's that.
Yeah, so they arrested a second dude, and but you know, it's the holiest day of the year. Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the year, and they arrested 3 people yesterday, which wasn't talked about in Germany, that were apparently Hamas or the Muslim Brotherhood sympathizers that were going to do something, and I think they blew up their car early. That was before also Oktoberfest, which they had to cancel. One of the big Oktoberfest things.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, even Keir Starmer had to come home early. He's like, hello, I'm sorry, you've got to stop this. We're going to put police everywhere.
If I was France, I would be really nervous right now.
Oh, so nervous. So nervous. I mean, it is... multiculturalism doesn't work. You have to all have commonality in a belief and a structure of which you build your culture. They've allowed millions of people to come from all over the world into their countries throughout Europe. Like you said, France. And France has had this. This goes back, by the way, with France well into the 60s, 70s, and 80s, because when they expanded their colonization, they had, Algeria and several other places where they've already had a lot of this, but it's gotten way worse because they've allowed everybody to come over. Never once asked them to be a part of the culture, really. Never forced them to say, look, if you're going to be here, you're going to be English. And this is what they get. Yeah, if I was France and Belgium. Belgium's probably the hot spot for...
Belgium.
Belgium is...
I forget about Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium is I would say, of all the places... The headquarters of jihadism in Europe is Belgium. They will fan out from there, but Belgium is probably the hot spot. They're just places there, like, no, it's like, don't go. Like, as bad as some of the other places are in Europe, you talk about, like, when they talk about France and no-go zone, Malmo in Sweden, within one generation, the Swedes will be, and this is a big city, will be, minorities in there. And is everybody conforming? Is everybody trying to become part of the culture? There are some that want it. They left there for a reason, but there are others who are just escaping potential punishment and war. And, we talked about it yesterday. I mean, my God, they let one of the head of Al-Qaeda's son move to England. And then they said, oh, yeah, by the way, you can bring your 7 family members. You can sponsor them. This is what you get. So, I expect today to be very uncomfortable in a lot of places throughout Europe. And tonight as well. But this guy, I don't know if the bomb worked. I don't think it did. I don't think because he had the vest on. And I don't know what was in it. It could have been real and it just didn't trigger, or they really got him so fast. But they shot him twice. So it's a horrible situation, This is, again.
Dude, I can't tell if this guy is trying to, set his vest off, if it does have explosives or what. Because, he's just writhing on the ground after he gets shot. Then he almost gets up again.
Yeah, he tried to, and then they put him down again. And I thought he was trying to, because set a vest off. And that's why when he was on the ground, they shot him again, because I think they thought that he was going to try to set his vest off, and they weren't sure because originally they thought there was a bomb in the car as well. So, but yeah, he was trying everything, and that's when they put him down.
Boy, good job on cleaning up that language in that clip, brother.
I know. Well, the good news is it's Manchester, and so nobody understands what they say anyway.
Yeah.
They've got like eyewitness videos. You guys would have a tough time. You would have a really tough time. There was a couple of them in there. It's like, I lived there for a long time, and I'm like, I understand, but when I watch some of those shows, my wife's like, you're going to have to turn the subtitles on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so now we're going to find out, is there a bigger cell there?
Right. I don't want to be profiling or anything, but he has the look.
He's got the look.
Yeah, of a Muslim terrorist.
Again, he's got the look. We're not trying to be mean. It's reality. I don't know what, like, this is the problem with not being honest. You know, it's like people who were nutritional overachievers. We can't say they're fat or you can't say they're overweight because it'll offend them. No, everybody knows there's a look. You look like this. This guy looks like, if you were to go to Central Casting and go, can you get me a guy that looks like he would want to blow himself up and kill a whole bunch of people? Like, we have a guy for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. You're not being mean. You're just being honest. And he smashed into several people, and then he got out and stabbed them.
Yeah.
This, again, horrible situation. And Keir Starmer got back, and they have their Cobra units. It's like they're, guys with the guns, not the whistles. Don't bring the whistles.
Yeah, not the billy clubs.
And the whistles.
We need the billy clubs and whistles. We need the guns.
Yeah, and they've got, they showed up. But even them, watching them, they weren't, because they didn't see him. I think he kind of rolled over, and then they saw the vest. And all these people are just standing there.
Yeah, I mean, they're, especially that
old dude
cop is close enough, he would be killed.
Yeah.
And the old man just walking by.
Yeah. And he stopped. He's like, what's going on here?
It's like he's completely oblivious.
He is. People are, you wonder, how did you live this long, sir?
Wow.
How did you live this long? How didn't you get blowed up by now?
You know what? His nonchalantness is probably how he lived so long.
Probably. He's like, I've been in World War II. I'm all right, mate.
Look, he's just walking by and just smiles.
I'm not worried about this. Let him go. He's all right.
My goodness, man.
So awful.
Terrible.
Awful indeed.
Terrible.
Yeah. On, again, the holiest day of the year.
Dude, it's like what we talked about at the start of the week. This is every other day.
Yeah. It is. Something's going on. Crazy violence. This is obviously the war that's going on, or, the British colonized them, 200, who knows what this one will be about. And then, here you've got whatever's going on this day. Every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, what's going to be next?
What's next?
What's next? It sounds horrible, but it's just true. Is it a school? Is it a supermarket?
Goodness.
Is it, and then of course the running out to finding out. And once that happens, who do you vote for? Right? Was it 2 days ago? Or was it yesterday, I think, was the anniversary of the Las Vegas shooting?
Yes,
Remember that?
It was.
My God. To this day, nobody knows.
Nobody knows why.
Nobody knows why. Nobody knows why.
Or if they do, they're not saying.
Yeah. It's just so weird. And who knew what? As far as, were people suspicious before that? Was there a second gunman? All of those things. But how does a dude stay up in a hotel that long, bring all that stuff up, and nobody goes, hey, that guy's not coming out of the room for a while. Maybe we should have a question and answer session with him.
Man.
Because you figured you'd do a well check. Oh, geez, crazy. Crazy indeed. I saw that Elon's worth $500 billion now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. $500 billion. He's going to be the first trillionaire. That's what they said. So he passed Ellison again. He's now worth $500 billion. Do you remember when a billion was a lot?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember it was like, man, a billion's a lot.
$1 billion?
Yeah. Now a billion's a joke.
Wow.
500 billion is just insane. And I think he's on his way to $1 trillion. He is. He crossed over. Tesla's worth $1.5 trillion.
Yeah, apparently Tesla sales were up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they were up in the third quarter.
So look at that.
So he's just, he's going to get there.
Yep. That is, he owns 12% of Tesla. He's got $500 billion now in ownership, and the valuation, if you take in all the other stuff with his shares and everything, because he's got SpaceX, XAI, that's got a $75 billion. SpaceX, he owns 42% of that, which is $400 billion. So he's doing all right, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And then he went after Netflix. Told everybody to cancel Netflix because of the trans stuff, which I found kind of funny. Because all these people are sending in their Belle and I were laughing because everybody's like, "Yeah, I'll cancel that." Then that show, I really like that show. I'm gonna go back and maybe I'll redo it. maybe I'll go back to it.
Wait a minute, they have all the Seinfelds?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, yeah, because that's what it did. That's the battle is live sports and comfort shows. Who's got Friends? Who's got Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Who's got The Office? Where you can go back and watch 200 shows that you don't have to pay full attention to, but you could watch 10 hours of it paying all attention to it. That's what everybody fights over, which is a smart thing. I totally understand that. I do. So, but yeah, he had everybody cancel theirs because there's some of the, again, the trans stuff with kids.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's
the issue, right? You're 24. You want to go out and do whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Knock yourself out. You're an adult.
Sure.
Right? But, it's the whole thing with like, oh, the drag queens are going to read to kids. Well, why aren't you reading to, I don't know, adults in night school that can't read?
Right.
Why aren't you reading to old people? I mean, you guys are all so, look at you done up with all the colors. Old people would love it because they can see you and stuff. Woo! Why don't you do that? Why is it children?
Yeah.
I think it's not being rude. Again, I wanted to do something and I was told I couldn't do it. Everybody got mad at me. I was going to do Wicked Wishes, which was like Make-A-Wish, but for older kids, right? Because, you're 19 and maybe you're not going to last long. And because my little brother's done Make-A-Wish like several times. And it's not everybody who does Make-A-Wish is going to die. But I wanted to do like Wicked Wishes for like 21-year-olds and stuff. It would be fun. It was like take them to strip club or something. And they got mad at me because we were really going to do it. And then the other one is like, well, if they can read to kids, then I think we should be able to have strippers read to kids.
Yeah.
In the full outfit, too.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference?
That's right. Here comes Air Force Amy from the Cat House show. She's going to read you guys a book.
Air Force Amy.
Remember that? Was it the Cat House on HBO from that dude, Dennis Hoff? He used to come on our show all the time. He was fun. He was a huge supporter of Trump. But yeah, that's like, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
There you go. It's funny, though. Hey, why does your dad take so much interest in your reading now? Jimmy? I don't know. Dad's got 8 library cards, and he's asking for singles.
Oh, shoot.
What happened? Why do you guys have glitter on you? We went to the library to learn how to read, Mom.
It was Celebration Day.
Oh, we will talk about are they not working still?
No, not working.
All right. Today was a day off anyways.
Yeah.
Because of Yom Kippur, but I just wanted to make sure. Are we firing people yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, good. We'll see what happens. We'll talk a bit about that. We got a bunch of other stuff to get to today, including a story that, Florida gives, and then they give more. You're going to love this one. If you're missing the show, we say shame on you, got the podcast. It is Chad Bench Show. Super Tough, 99.7.
Available now on the Super Talk 99.7 WTN and your favorite podcast platform.
Prize Picks, baby. That's right. Now's your chance. Download the app now. Use my code Chad. You can get $50 instantly into your account when you play your first $5 lineup. A lineup is 2 players or more, up to 6, where you can win up to 2,000 times your money. And it is so easy to play. You're not picking teams. You're not picking spreads. You're picking more or less on the player's projected stats. And it can be anything. Baseball, soccer, hockey's back. Basketball's getting ready to start. And, of course, football, baby. And I'm talking about the easy thing to do when you're picking more or less. You look at somebody like Josh Allen. Do you think he's going to pass for more than 250 yards in this game? More or less. Do you think that Jalen Hurts may run for more than 62.5 yards this game? More or less. That's a lineup set. It's that simple. And when you download my app, boom. Right there, Prize Picks. Use my code, $50 instantly. We play the first $5 lineup. It's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Get that $50 free, win or lose, the first time you play your $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789.
With a long legacy of helping people live well, HealthSpring knows Medicare. As your partner, HealthSpring is committed to empowering you every step of the way. From choosing your plan to making the most of your benefits, you'll find that with a Medicare partner you trust, life gets lighter. So, put a spring in your step with a HealthSpring Medicare plan. Find out more at healthspring.com. HealthSpring products and services are provided exclusively by or through operating subsidiaries of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Fall is a busy time and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Hey, this is Dan Mandison. I am so excited to speak with my friend Mark of Mark Spain Real Estate. Now, Mark, how does the guaranteed offer eliminate all the stress for the home seller while also keeping them in control of the process?
The guaranteed offer is simple and stress-free because it's all cash. You don't have a buyer sitting in limbo hoping to get their loan. You don't have to make costly repairs. You choose your closing date, typically within 21 days, and then you move on to the next chapter of your life. It's the easiest and most hassle-free way to sell your home today, period.
Thank you, Mark, and friends. It really is that easy, but don't just take my word for it. Mark Spain Real Estate has a 15 seconds star reviews, making them the most trusted and experienced real estate team in the U.S. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
It's the spooky season, but don't be tricked. Busy Bee's ready to give you some treats. How about this? Treat your family right. They're not going to ghost you. Beehive. Are you ready for this? You want to join for free the Beehive Club? You go, you carve a pumpkin of Buzz the Bee, post it on social media, you tag Busy Bee. When you do that, boom, you're going to get yourself a free Beehive Club membership. It's that simple. You're going to show off your skills as well. And how about some other great stuff? HVAC service. Upgrade your thermostat. Get a free dryer vent cleaning. Choose from the best Honeywell or Pro or GoPro with Wi-Fi control. It's so awesome. Plumbing problems. They will flush them away. Free with any plumbing repair. And they're going to treat your pipes with love. Now, if you're ready for a new HVAC, right, because it's getting kind of spooky and you have the cobwebs up there, guess what? They've got a scary good deal. 10-year parts, 5-year labor warranty, a $750 value, free. It's a complete instant system install. You get that absolutely free. So what are you going to do? You're going to call them today. Don't be scared away. Call Busy Bee, where service is sweet and savings are spooky good. Busy Bee, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 775-7833, 775-7833, or visit them online at busybehvac.com.
All right, drivers, just a reminder, if you are headed to Kentucky on 24 westbound, just know it is down to one lane just over the Kentucky border for some road work, and it is causing quite the backup. Got the shutdown of the federal government continuing. We're learning new details about the launch of the Memphis Safe Task Force and then the terrorist attack in Manchester, UK today. All this and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
They're still not working.
He said passionately as recently as March of this year on the same instrument, the same CR, that it would be reckless and irresponsible and dangerous to close down the federal government. Why did Chuck Schumer change his tune? Everybody knows that now. He's trying to avoid a challenge from his left flank in his next Senate re-election campaign.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen anyways. Nobody's listening to him. The old guard doesn't like him. The young guard doesn't pay any attention to him, and that's going to happen.
He's in a catch-22.
It is. Yeah, you're screwed, Chuck. You've been there a long time, dude. It's time to just realize it's over and you move on. Zoran Mondani or AOC's got your spot coming. Sorry, hate to break it to you. Well, you're 72. You'll be 74. Whatever it is, you're going to be 70. Just get over it. Move on.
And how long has he been there?
1,400 years. That's a great idea to find out. How long has Chuck Schumer
I'm looking it up
been
right
there?
now.
What do you think? It's got to have been there a few. You know what's scary? When they start saying decades.
45 years he has served in Congress.
85 years ago.
18 years in the House, 27 in the Senate.
Yeah.
Been there a long time.
Term limits. Term limits.
What is Chuck? Let's see here. What is Chuck Schumer's net worth?
Oh, no, that's a good question. I don't know if Chuck has taken quite the advantage some other people have.
Just curious. Let's see here.
12, 15?
$7 million.
That's it, huh?
Yep.
That's it. God. That's, no offense, guys. I mean, that's not a lot. You've been there that long.
There's others up there that are a lot wealthier.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite the Trumps, but they're getting there. Come on, we got to ask some serious questions, right? Like, if all the stuff was happening to Hunter Biden that is happening to the Trump, what is Eric's net worth? $750 million. It was worth what, $40 million before they started, before he came back in. That seems pretty good. You know, what did they say? What's his name? Tall and skinny, Barron. 150
already.
150. And Chuck, you got 7. That's it. 7?
I wonder how that ranks.
Oh, it's got to be
in Congress.
Well, for that length of time too. Where does that rank?
Yeah, that's true. That numbers are starting to make my head hurt.
So, because you think about it, if you've been there 4.5 decades,
yeah,
and you've only accumulated, you could, Bernie's worth more than you. What's Bernie worth? Like 10 or 12?
I think so.
Again, nothing close to Barron Trump. Nothing close to that.
Here,
That's
Bernie.
just insane.
You're looking up my finances?
What are you doing?
Let's see here. No official or definitive figures for Bernie Sanders' net worth this year. It says estimates suggest he and his wife have a combined net worth of $3 million.
I thought he was worth a lot more than that. Still, it's almost like you could have worked a regular job. And he wrote best-selling books. I mean, you haven't wrote a book like Kamala. Did you see how many copies she sold?
How much?
350,000. It's the best-selling nonfiction book, I think, of the year. Is it written in crayon? Has she read it?
Is that good? 300.
That's huge.
Oh, okay.
It's like an album. Like nobody buys albums or books.
No, they do.
You could sell 15 or 20,000 books, and you'd be like, oh, this guy's going to be number one.
Yeah, but you got to wonder how many the DNC bought and gave away
That's
for
what I want to
free,
think.
and how many the publisher bought.
How many of those are sitting in a warehouse somewhere? Get ready to get donated to kids all over the globe. You guys want toilet paper?
It's going to be like Lakers jerseys. You see them all over the place.
Yeah. Buffaloes. You see some kid come running by like in sedan somewhere, and there's got a Buffalo Bills 1990 Super Bowl champs.
Right.
You're like, that was wide right. You guys have a bad history of our sports. All right, coming up. Interesting. Howard Lutnick and the whole Epstein thing is rather interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that. Got a bunch of other stuff, including we're probably going to have to do the story of Florida guy. This is pretty spectacular because when you think Florida, you think, well, this will be odd. And then you'll hear this story and you're like, man, you know what? Every time you guys manage to top yourself. And this one is this is spectacular. Fantastic.
I can't wait.
If you want to see the show, go to the podcast. Chet Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes, and the shutdown of the federal government adding pressure to already strained nonprofit groups. ABC's Jim Ryan says the nation's food banks may be especially hit hard.
To see the potential effect of the budget stalemate, Texas Food Bank volunteer Diana Woods looks back to the 35-day shutdown that ended 2018 and began 2019.
I did get several new families that had not ever been to a food bank before.
Feeding America, which oversees 200 food banks and 60,000 charity and church soup kitchens, is urging Congress to break the budget deadlock and end the shutdown as lines begin to form at the nation's food pantries. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Well, there will be a day 3 because the earliest Congress will vote to try to end it won't be until tomorrow because they have the day off for the Jewish holiday Yom Kippur. Well, we're learning new details about the launch of the Memphis Safe Task Force today. Attorney General Pam Bondi says that in the first 72 hours, they've made 93 arrests and seized 28 illegal firearms. This task force established by memorandum signed by President Trump. It includes agents from several federal agencies, among them the FBI, DEA, ATF, and ICE, as well as support from about 200 National Guard troops. And right now in the UK,
an attack on our Jewish community today on Yom Kippur is devastating.
Head of counterterrorism Lawrence Taylor there in Manchester says 3 dead, 3 injured after a man drove a vehicle into people standing outside a synagogue. Then he got out and stabbed a security guard before police shot and killed him.
Based on what we know, counterterrorism policing has declared this as a terrorist incident.
He says they know who the suspect is but have not released the identity, and he says they've arrested 2 other people. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys, contours. That belly fat, you want to get rid of it, they can help you with that. You want to get rid of, maybe your chest, you're like, oh, I got some moves, I want to get rid of those. They can do that. Ladies, get the love handles, they can get rid of them, and it's simple and easy. You go into contours, you get the belly, they got the belly buster, right? You sign up for that, and if you don't lose 2 inches off your chest and your belly in the first session, you don't pay. But then when you sign up for it, they're going to give you something that's incredible, and I do mean incredible. It is a full facial, a med spa facial that is incredible. $1,500 value, absolutely free, just for signing up for the Belly Buster. Contours is in Cool Springs. It's amazing. Sit back, relax. It's not invasive, and you're going to see it just melt away. You don't have to do anything. That's our dream, people. You want to fit in your clothes better? You want to look better? This is what it's all about, Contours. Call them today, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960, or check them out online at contoursllc.com to schedule. What have you got to lose but inches and wrinkles? Dun, 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 dun. Bum, ba-da, ba-da, ba, 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 ba-da, ba, ba. Ba-da, ba. So, I wonder how many people are going to be fired. Are they laying off? Are they furloughing?
I don't know.
They
say they're going to have to lay people off if it goes too long.
I don't know what too long is, though.
Yeah, we don't.
And by the way, Trump is fine with this. Again, until the polls turn against him, that's how this will be decided.
Yeah, I just saw something on CNN. They were flashing some poll numbers. I don't know where they got those numbers, but we were talking about it yesterday. They're all monitoring that. Both sides. They're looking at that.
Yeah, they are. They've got to be. They absolutely got to be.
Well, that's why we're shut down.
Yeah, it's
politics.
The minute that it goes against you, right? Because they've got all their internal polling. The minute that they feel it switch, where the Thundoggle isn't working, or the Schumer shutdown is going against it, whatever that sticks, then they'll all rush and go, let's get something done.
Whatever sticks.
Well, yeah, because it's not about, and nothing's going to change. It's not going to be like tomorrow they come together and the kumbaya and they fix it. And they're like, oh, it's going to be 7 weeks. And just before Thanksgiving, they're going to be going out there doing this again. And they're like, we're not going to let you guys go home until you guys pass this. And then they'll kick it out till till February or March. And then they'll do it all over again. Still no real budget. Just the same old same. That's it. It's unfortunate, but alas, here we are. The frustration of why are you people here if you don't do your jobs? And the thing that's going to be interesting is watching what happens when the shell shock that people are going to get when the subsidies go away for Obamacare. And you go from paying $400 a month to $1,200 a month. People are going to freak at that. But alas, what are you going to do? It's politics, right? This is not politics, but this is everything Florida is. I want you guys to imagine this. This guy, he ate something.
A bizarre case of animal cruelty is unfolding on Florida's Gulf Coast. A Hudson man is behind bars charged with killing and eating his own pet peacocks. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office says the 61-year-old killed 2 of the colorful birds, all because his neighbor kept feeding them. Deputies say the suspect admitted to slitting the peacocks' throats out of spite, then cooking and eating them. According to investigators, he even wrote a threatening letter to his neighbor, warning he'd keep killing the birds if she continued feeding them. And the story gets even darker. While being taken to jail, deputies say the man threatened to kill all his remaining peacocks upon release just to keep anyone else from having them. The suspect is now charged with aggravated animal cruelty, a third-degree felony. The sheriff's office hasn't commented on what will happen to the remaining peacocks.
First of all, I heard they taste like turkey or, pheasant or something. I don't know. Secondly, it's his birds, right? And no birds, you couldn't eat birds. I thought you could. No, he's not Haitian. So, but he's mad at his neighbors for feeding the peacocks.
Yeah, so he's taking it out on the peacocks.
So he's killing the peacocks. And then he told him, if anybody else does it, I'm going to come home and kill all the other peacocks.
Good grief.
Florida, what the hell is wrong with you? What happens in Florida that make people lose their blanking mind?
More people can live there because it's never ice cold.
Yeah, Crazy can live there. Crazy. But Crazy had a house with
peacocks.
With peacocks. That's pretty wacky. And he was mad at his neighbor, and he threatened his neighbor, if you feed that peacock again, I'm going to eat it. And the neighbor's like, sure you are. And then he slit its throat and ate it. Man. Oh, this is why, Florida. This is why we keep you. This is why. You are spectacular. And then the weird thing is, they're like, well, I just want to get this right. It's his bird. He didn't go out and steal it. It's cruelty to animals. But if it was a chicken and he cut the chicken's head off and he ate it, that would have been okay. Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I guess.
Because it's not an endangered species.
The peacock?
Yeah.
No?
I mean, it's not an endangered species.
Unless they've got a special peacock law
Maybe.
there in Florida.
I know there's places. Do we have any here where the peacocks roam free?
I don't know, man.
It's because we had a couple places in California and Arizona where the streets were they had peacocks everywhere. And you'd wake up and you go outside and there'd be like 20 of them on your lawn all day. But, I mean, and that was kind of like, that was one of those neighborhoods like, oh, very she, like the old homes and everything. But again, if he does it to a chicken, we're totally cool with that. But because it's the NBC logo, somehow we're upset. And then he threatened. If he threatened to kill his chicken, you feed those chickens again, I'm going to turn them into wings. You wouldn't go to jail for that. I mean, I've got to side with this guy. I'm sure he's not well, but still, just a bit odd. Speaking of odd, I don't know if you guys know this, but Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick had a run-in with old Epstein.
Howard Lutnick, who once lived next door to Epstein, telling a New York Post podcast, Epstein once gave him a tour of his home.
I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me. Ooh. And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Lutnick says he broke ties with Epstein after that encounter.
So every day, and then he went on to say, the right kind of massage.
Creepy.
Right? Now, this is where it gets even weirder because they still haven't sat that woman. They said they'll probably do it next week. She's the one that says she's going to vote for everything to be out. He also went on to say, oh, yeah, that guy was totally the king of blackmail. He blackmailed all kinds of people. That's what he was. That's what he did, which goes against what our FBI guy said.
His allegations in stark contrast to what FBI Director Kash Patel testified to last month.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
This as Republican leaders on Capitol Hill grapple with a push to have all the Department of Justice's Epstein files released.
Yeah, I think it's time, right?
Just the longer it goes, man, and it's not going away.
No, and by the way, the longer it goes and the more that you do stuff where you don't sit a congresswoman that won, that everybody expected to win, but she won. And when the last time this happened in Florida, you sat two the next day. By the time you swear in, if you guys do it next week, it'll be 3 weeks. The longer that Mike Johnson puts it off, he's like, yeah, we'll get to it next week. Don't worry about it. This is standard procedure. Well, you didn't do it with them. But the longer it goes, man, I'm telling you, you're right, Ken, the weirder it looks.
It is not going to go away.
No.
The questions will keep coming.
And they're going to get louder. They're going to get louder, those questions. By the way, we're getting a lot of Peacock talk on the text line.
Peacock talk.
Oh, we should do that. Hey, everybody, it's Peacock talk.
It's time for Peacock talk.
So apparently there was some in Jolton last week. Somebody saw one. Murfreesboro. There's some out there.
Wow.
Let's see here. One guy said, I've lived all over the United States, including Florida, and I can tell you their craziness everywhere in Florida is not special when craziness is concerned. Yeah. Because I just found this whole thing weird because you have to see the guy too, because he looks like a guy that would yell at his neighbor and say that he was going to eat the bird. He had that wiry look on his face. But yeah, a lot of you are saying Florida's. I've been to Florida a few times, and I will admit there's a lot of adventure in Florida. There's a lot of, unsettledness. Like I said, I think you're right, though, Ken. I think so much access to sunshine and all kinds of stuff, just like California. People go to California because you know what? If you're homeless, it's good to be somewhere it's 70 degrees all year.
Yeah, you're not going to freeze to death.
No. I mean, it's...
just more people can live there.
Yes. Oh, wow. Look at a lot of people. Old Hickory's got some.
Oh,
Williamson County's got some free range. Now people are sending stuff in here. This is hilarious. Oh, by the way, if you information, Peacock sells $500 a bird in Tennessee. I didn't know that. $500 a bird. Yeah, Florida. It's Florida and California, Texas, but Texas can get cold. It can get cold. They had that freeze a few years ago. You want to go, if you're going to be homeless, you want to go somewhere where you're going to have the opportunity, if you want to sleep outside all the time and be an urban camper. There's no, those two take the bait. Florida, you have hurricanes, which is different. California, if you're homeless and there's an earthquake, you don't know because you're hyped up on something anyways and you're doing the shake. So that is, several of you chiming in about Trump because I said, how much their net worth has gone up. And I find it weird that a lot of MAGA folk haven't said a lot, but it's interesting. The guy that they're calling the new Charlie Kirk is this 17 or 18-year-old kid, and he's supposed to be in touch with MAGA. His first introduction to everybody, he's on a private jet wearing a Masters polo, and he's the kind of Ivy League bro that you would think, and he's got a Rolex on, and then everybody in the MAGA world's like, oh yeah, you seem like the common man. Because everybody's taking the private jet, which everybody should do once if you have a chance. I'm telling you. Bill, you took private jets, right? No? In all the radio years. You never took a private jet.
If the record companies are going to fly me anywhere, they just bought me a ticket.
But no band you got cool with? They're like, hey, just hop on our...
No, I was never that interested in being that close to the groups, no.
You figured just once. I'm like, just one time.
Yeah.
It's just neat to walk to the tarmac and get on something and go. That's cool. Everybody should do it once. But this kid, he does. We'll play some of. I think his name is Riley or Briley. Briley. There's a name.
It's like Brylan or something.
Yeah. Peacocks everywhere. So, see, a lot of people I didn't realize. See, Ken, I can't believe you've never seen a peacock wander around out here.
I've never seen a peacock here in Tennessee.
I'll be damned.
I don't think I ever saw a peacock in Idaho. Oh, no, wait a minute. I did see a peacock in Idaho, but it was at a zoo.
I was at a zoo one time, and there was this family. They weren't the sharpest, and we walked in, and there were peacocks there, and they go, honey, get over here. Check out the aardvark. I laughed so hard. Aardvark. I'm like, aardvark? It's a peacock. It's not an aardvark. All right. Coming up, we got some interesting stuff, some other news out there that's going on today. There's plenty of stuff happening. Because government shut, so you guys can do whatever you want. That's what I was told. You feel free to do anything, break all the federal laws. You can only break federal laws today. So if you're thinking about breaking a state law, you could still be in trouble. And so you heard the federal from us. We want to make sure that everything is, because we don't want to get blamed for something. We don't want Ken and I dragged into a courtroom because you guys went state instead of federal.
Yeah, and you have to wear a shirt.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, we got to. Did you see the lady at the school board in Davis? See what she did?
Took her shirt off.
She stripped down.
Started stripping naked.
It was fantastic. It was. And she, you know what? Good for you. All right. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. All right, my friends, Bulwark Capital, they've got their big webinar tonight. It's called Back to Basics. Free to join, 5:30. Takes about 30 minutes. You'll learn all kinds of things about how they invest, how they do retirements, how they're value investors. They use those fundamentals to look globally for all kinds of things, not just about stocks and bonds. No, they look for everything, and that is why they do it better than anybody else. And they're up tremendously this year in a way it's crazy. It is so good. So this is what I want you to do. Absolutely free to join. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. They're going to show you all of what it is that they're about, which is lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, and how they use their active investing to really go out and hit home runs. Free to join, 5:30 tonight, knowyourriskpodcast.com. Sign up there, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital Management. Back to basics tonight, 5:30. Simple and easy, okay? KnowYourRiskPodcast.com. Sign up now. Investment advisory service offered through Check Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Check 25298.
Day 2 of the federal government shutdown, and there is word that firings could start today. Details coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, kids.
PEN America has documented nearly 23,000 book bans in public schools nationwide since 2021. It says the censorship is mobilized by groups promoting conservative viewpoints and mostly targets books about race and LGBTQ people. Also targeted are books for older readers that have sexual references or sexual violence. The top banned book of the past school year, A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, followed by Breathless by Jennifer Niven, and Sold by Patricia McCormick.
A Clockwork Orange? Well, see the movie, kids.
I remember that movie.
It was a great movie.
What were the two dudes' names?
Oh, God.
Tiny and...
Yeah. That movie was...
whenever they decided they were going to be the boss.
Yeah. That is... that was Kubrick. There was... You had Dim.
Yeah, Dim.
Yeah, Dim.
Dim. And he was Dim, man. That actor was fantastic.
So that was that was a great... It's good movie. Yeah. Do I think kids should see it or read it?
Absolutely not.
No. My mom was not the most attentive parent. That's what I'm saying. She thought Animal House was a Muppet movie after I'd seen it 300 times. She came in and she saw boobs bouncing up there, and she's like, oh, my God. But I think Stephen King's the most banned of all the books.
Really?
Yeah. Why is Stephen King banned?
Have you read some of Stephen King's books?
I've read almost all of them.
Yeah. But let's all rephrase. Let me rephrase this. Not banned. If you want to get your kid Clockwork Orange,
you
can still go get it. Banned is you can't read it because we've taken it and burned it.
Right. You can't read it anywhere.
Anywhere.
You can't go buy it if you want on the free market. It's gone.
Yeah.
That's banned.
That's banned. This is not banned. This is just... And do I think they overdo it? Of course they do, because some people are going to come in and decide, this is what I want our morals to be here. But that's for each school district to figure out. And for you as a parent to decide what's good for your kid when you want to show them stuff. You know, if your kid's 17 and wants to read Clockwork Orange, do I think it's going to ruin their life? No. But that's for you to decide. Do I think a 9-year-old should read it? No. There's probably 25-year-olds shouldn't read the damn thing. Watch out for Dim. Oh, the movie, too, when he was doing Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
Where I lived in England at the Docklands, they filmed those scenes down below.
Oh, really?
We didn't know that. We just thought our building was the old IKEA building, but they filmed them down below. They said originally it was like that. And I said, oh, that must have been a trip. Because it's weird. England will have like really cool like places that are kind of new, and then the rest of it still looks like it's the 1800s.
Yeah.
Which is a trip. So, but yeah, the banned books. Let's stop with the ban. They're not banned. Stop with that. I don't think we have a banned book in this country, do we? At all?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Any of the Western countries' last banned book I can remember was Mein Kampf in Germany, and now you can get it. So that's it. But yeah, I don't think we have a banned book in this country. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? All right. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program, more on what's going on in Manchester. Attack today. A little nervy in Europe. There is a reason for that. We got more on 90 seconds, more on what's going on with the shutdown, the shutout, the lockout, the walkout, the strike, whatever the hell it's called. Chad Benson, Joe, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And a heads up in Colombia, a large gas main break has shut down eastbound lanes of James Campbell Boulevard. Local police warning it's going to be an extended closure, and they advise drivers seek another route. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. It's day 2 of the federal government shutdown after the Senate failed to pass a funding plan. Rachel Scott on Capitol Hill.
Millions of federal workers already forced to work without pay, including TSA agents and some 2 million troops. The Trump administration ready to take it even further. Sources say Republicans were told layoffs could begin as early as today.
So who's to blame? Well, Democrats say Republicans. Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson says
real pain is being inflicted upon the American people because 44 Democrats in the Senate have voted for the third time to reject the completely nonpartisan, completely clean, very simple 24-page continuing resolution that we passed in the House here 2 weeks ago.
So no end in sight. The earliest the next vote will be taken is tomorrow. And federal workers, they're going to be paid retroactively when the shutdown does end. Right now in the UK, 3 people dead, including the attacker, after a vehicle and stabbing attack outside a synagogue in Manchester, which has been declared a terrorist act. And the suspect shot and killed by police. This is the head of counterterrorism there, Lawrence Taylor.
3 other members of the public are in a serious condition. We have also made 2 further arrests.
Yeah, so this suspect drove a car into people outside the synagogue before getting out and then stabbing a security guard. Police arrived and shot him dead before he could enter the synagogue. And while authorities believe they know the suspect's identity, they have not publicly released his name pending formal confirmation. They haven't said anything about these other 2 people they say they arrested. Well, back here in this country, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Jeffrey Epstein's one-time neighbor, claimed that high-profile associates of the convicted sex offender not only knew of his behavior, but some even participated.
His allegations in stark contrast to what FBI Director Kash Patel testified to last month.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
This as Republican leaders on Capitol Hill grapple with a push to have all the Department of Justice's Epstein files released.
S.J. O'Brien reporting. And the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Yeah. So, when is when's the special election? Is it next week? For the 7th?
Let me look that up.
Can't remember. It's next Tuesday? Is it?
Well, the primary.
Primary, I mean.
I believe the primary, yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Primary will be next Tuesday.
Mega. Who's more mega than me? Megatron mega. Can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, people. We're apologizing. He called you a douchebag, but he called him a douche canoe. He hates puppies.
And peacocks.
And peacocks. Everybody's like, okay, good. They're making fun of it. Yes. Look, we all know what happens, right? At this time of year. Everybody's got money to spend. They go, they spend it. And there you go. We've talked to, who we talked to? We had Bolso on, and we had Barrett on, and we had Afton on.
Yeah.
That's it. We've asked the other ones to come on, and they couldn't do it at the right time or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's all good. If you guys want to reach out, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You want to try to get on tomorrow, let Bell know. Bell, tell everybody your email so they can get you if you're a candidate.
I'll call them again.
Yeah, no, you email them because you don't have we want the weird ones. So, oh my Lord. Oh, by the way, did you see the breaking news?
What's that?
Trump has declared war on the cartels.
Okay.
He said we are now officially at war with the cartels.
Okay.
So let me tell you what's going to happen. First of all, the whole Venezuela thing is such a joke. It's about going in there. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but maybe they have oil. That's what I heard. And Maduro, he's useless, yes. You can make an argument somewhat that they're all connected to cartels across there, but the amount of stuff, as the kids would go, weight that they move is very little. It's very, and there's no fentanyl that comes from there. You would want to go to Colombia or you want to go to Mexico because that's where 99% of it comes. And Marco Rubio really wants regime change in Venezuela. Really does. So, and I'm just going to give you guys a little hint. If you're looking to buy stuff, stock and things, see what's in Venezuela that may be coming to a situation, because I think that's what this is about. It's not about, we're not going to blast anything. We're not going to fight with the Sinaloa cartel or anything. I don't think any of us would really cry over that. But, I just don't think that's going to happen. This is all about Guyana and the light sweet crude that they have and what's going on with the regime change. And then you have to ask yourself the question, would they step it up and, maybe Cuba's got drugs. Cuba, by the way, if you guys have paid zero attention to Cuba, this is some of the worst times they've ever had. I think 1 in 4 is malnourished. But you know what? They got good health care, and everybody can read. Everybody can read. So we're at war, apparently. So be prepared for that, people. We're at war. War, yeah. Somebody said it's about getting Shell's refineries back. Oh, there's a lot of that. Because Venezuela, the minute Guyana found all of the oil, and Venezuela is the largest oil reserve on the planet. They're underground. A lot of dinosaurs, Ken, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of dinosaurs live in Venezuela.
Mastodons.
Huge. Brontosaurus. None of the little crappy dinosaurs. We're talking big ones. They've got more than Saudi Arabia. But it's not the greatest oil, the kind we use here. It's still refinable, still great. But what happens is light sweet crude was found in Guyana, massive, huge deposits of it. And then they said, hey, that is ours, and that's part of our land, and you guys took it, and now we're going to take it back. And so there's a lot of oil companies sitting offshore going, oh, no, you're not. That's why we have 4,000 plus Marines floating around out there. Tren de Agua is nothing comparatively to the other outfits that are out there. They're not. From MS-13, the Mexican Mafia. I mean, the Mexican Mafia was so powerful. Do you remember in the 80s? Remember all the drive-by shootings, Ken, and all that stuff you'd hear all the time? The Crips, the Bloods, and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Then the Mexican Mafia showed up and said, yeah, this is enough. And then out of nowhere, it just slowly just went quiet. Different kind of thing. So, yeah, if we're
Wasn't
serious.
Good for business.
For business, right? Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the 5 families that got together, Lucky Luciano. Said, guys, we could go out and kill each other all the time, and that's a waste of time, and nobody's making any money. Or we can all just say, we're all going to take a couple boroughs, and we're going to do this, and we're going to have, our commission, and we're just going to do our stuff and not have anybody really look at us anymore. So there you go. But the whole thing with Venezuela, this is a regime change. This is going to be a regime change. And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But we're at war, for those of you not keeping score. We're at war. And by the way, did you see Trump yesterday talk about defending Qatar?
No.
Yeah.
As President Trump pushes for peace in Gaza, the White House is now giving unprecedented security guarantees to one of the countries negotiating an end to the war. Signing an executive order, Trump says any armed attack on Qatar will be considered a threat to the peace and security of the U.S.
No. How about you just look over and say Israel? Don't do it. You just did an Article 5 for Qatar? Qatar? I don't think we need to do that. Just tell Israel, hey, can you stop bombing our allies? And our men and women are over there? Not to mention some 200,000 or 300,000 expats from Europe and us. Could you just stop doing that, please? So that was like out of nowhere. I was wondering if he thought he got wind that they were going to try to do something else over there. And he's like, we just can't. Because what would happen if Bibi bombed them again? Would we get involved? Because you just gave him security. So would we fire stuff back over there? Ooh, what a tangled web we weave. Somebody said, Chad, Ray, how about supporting the president at least for once? I'm not anti-president. He promised no more wars and none of this stuff. Did he not? I mean, that's what he said. And I don't think if we go into Venezuela, there's no reason for us to go to Venezuela. None. Zero. And we're not good at regime change. Can we just be honest? Let's look at our history. Let's just go back a decade and find out how we did in Iraq. 2 decades. It's been a nightmare. Afghanistan, there was none. So it's not anti. It's just, why do we have to get involved? How is this America's first? How does it benefit America? I don't think it does. I don't.
Well, then, isn't Qatar letting Hamas leadership live there?
Yeah, they let them live there. They let them stay there. And they let them stay there because Israel was fine with them staying there. Remember, Bibi and Israel funded Hamas for the last umpteen years, $30 million a month. They knew where they were the whole time, the leaders. So, but I think one of the reasons, if you guys want to get a little serious, Steve Witkoff and his son, while they were negotiating, were also asking the Qataris for billions of dollars for their investments. So you need to make sure that you get it. Hey, stop bombing. You said you guys weren't going to do anything. But no, I don't want to be involved. No more wars. No more wars. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No more wars.
I don't know about blanket protection for countries that house terrorists either.
No, I don't think so. But because we have bases on there and because they're doing business, by the way, Trump's family, they've got business there. He doesn't want them getting bombed. This isn't about whether or not we like Qatar or not. It's the fact that it's useful to them. There's money to be made, and we've got, our bases there. And you're right, man. I don't know about protecting, people who've allowed Hamas, but not just Hamas. There's been several organizations that have been in and out of there.
I mean, I got to be honest. I didn't have any problem with Israel bombing that place in Qatar to kill Hamas leadership. I don't have any problem with that.
No, go ahead.
Because I didn't see it as an attack on Qatar. But I get Qatar being angry about that. But you're the ones who are letting Hamas leadership live there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But again, why are they there, Ken? Because Israel was fine with it. They knew where they were. They gave them money there.
Yeah.
So that was also on them. And because they thought as Bibi would like to say, he thought he could control the fire, the flame. But, I think if Qatar would have been told earlier what was going to happen, I think it would have been different, but because they didn't, and they didn't really inform us.
Because it just kind of happened.
Yeah. That was the issue right there. Like Iran. Iran called us and told us, hey, we're going to be firing some stuff off to you guys. So here's the coordinates. Make sure you knock them down. Because they didn't want to escalate it. So there you go. And no, Ray, I have no problem with them going, and if they want to go and, everybody's like, well, they should go take out all the cartels. Are we going to go in their country and take out the cartels? I mean, but fine. If you want to go fight, here's the thing. Don't tell me Venezuela is super important for the drug trade. It's not. The amount of drugs that come through Venezuela is small. One of the reasons Colombia doesn't run drugs through there very much is because they want corruption. They don't want instability. Poor, desperate people will make your life hell. It's easier to buy people off. But if you're serious about it, then go to Mexico. That's where it comes from. Get serious with China, for real. China. By the way, we got to pull it up. Have you seen, speaking of China, have you seen the Chinese guy that does Donald Trump?
No.
It is so spot on. It is crazy. If your eyes were closed, you would swear it's Donald Trump. He does no politics. It's just all about China. Look at this. Look at this place here. The noodles are great. They're the fantastic noodles. You'll love them. They taste great. He's like, look, I don't want to get involved in politics. Plus, he's in China, so you've got to walk a fine line. And he goes, I did it one day as a joke. My friends dared me. And he's never been to America. And he goes, I saw Trump a few times. I just started studying him. And it is so perfect. We'll throw it up here in a little bit. Bell's like, dude, you got to look at this guy. But then the trip is, right, so you think, okay, he's a Chinese guy, the accent, what's he like? Then when they talk to him, he sounds like this. So, yeah, I totally do Trump. He's like, oh, I've never been to America. His accent, he sounds American. But it's great. It's fantastic. I tell you what, it's great. You guys are going to love it. They don't serve goat here. That's one of the things he said. I don't like goat anyways. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lord. A lot of stuff we're still going to get to today. We got more on, what is it? The shutdown? Is that what it's called? I keep forgetting. Is it a lockout or a
shutdown?
Is it a lockout or a shutdown? That's a good one. Did the Republicans lock him out? Or did the Democrats walk out? Ooh, that's a good one. They're going to come back in the next couple days. You and I both know that. Here's what's worse for them. If people stop caring because their lives don't change so much, that government's not involved, then they're both going to start to see, oh my God, nobody cares. Everybody chose D. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. That's A and B. It's both parties' fault. C. It's we don't care. It doesn't affect my life. D. The minute D outgrows them both, they'll both rust back because they want to be wanted. They do. They want it like Lobo. I want you to want me. Coming up. Oh, that's a good one. He had to have one hit. Was that the only hit he had? Remember Lobo? You remember Lobo, Ken?
Me and you and a dog named Boo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, that's two.
Me and you and a dog named Boo. I had a dog named Boo.
Better than Bell yesterday with his band that had 12 number ones. Yeah. That was a one-hit wonder. It was one hit that year, Chad. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit about Manchester, what's going on over there. It's an attack in Manchester, a horrible attack at a synagogue. Europe is on edge right now, and I have a feeling it's going to get spicy. We'll talk a bit about that, among other things. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Prize Picks. Pick your lineup. Download the app today, the Prize Picks app. Use my code Chad. You get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup right into your account so you can play more, and it is awesome. So, perfect example, you got games you can pick between any sport, and it's simple. They got baseball, right? You're picking players, not teams, and you're picking projected stats, and you're picking more or less. Devontae Adams. Tonight, will he have more than a touchdown? So all he needs is one touchdown. Or Matthew Stafford, will he throw for more than 234 yards? You go and pick more or less on those, and that's how you win. You can win up to 2,000 times your money, and it's between 2 and 6 players. It's that simple. Download the app today. Use my code CHAD. When you do, $50 immediately right into your account. It's that simple. Use the knowledge of sports that you have, all sports. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code CHAD to get $50 instantly. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. All right, guys. Wellness Institute of Nashville. 12 big bucks. Get yourself and your back. Feeling great, dancing around, doing the things you've always wanted to do and you thought you never could. Thanks to Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley. PainIsBad.com or call 615-246-5009. So your back hurts, right? You're thinking, I got sciatic. Tingling in your fingers, right? Tingling in your legs. That's bad. But you don't want surgery. And you think you might be desperate, it's the only thing? No. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley are there to help you. No spinal injections, no painkillers. You can start living a pain-free life. $12. You're going to get a comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed. They're going to explain the diagnosis and your first treatment just for $12. 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Or check them out online at PainIsBad.com.
Day 2 of the federal government shutdown, and the next vote to try to end it won't come until tomorrow at the earliest. We're learning more about the rollout of the Memphis Safe Task Force. Got another report on the Manchester, UK terror attack, and a new study from Goldman Sachs claiming more Americans living paycheck to paycheck. These stories and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah. Yesterday we went to the Nashville Rescue Mission. We were talking about like the food handouts and stuff. And people that come there sometimes, for food donations, they're driving cars. They live in a house. They're not making it anymore. They don't have the money from going point A to point B. That's it. But point C is where they need to go. And so they need some help. And it's growing. And now, they're worried, not only here, but across the country that there's going to be, because of this, layoffs. Because you remember, there's a trickle-down effect. If the government's not working, that means people who work contractor-wise for the government and get paid, they're not going to be working. Businesses that need certain things from the government and or sell things, they're not going to be working. Not just the federal employees themselves. So this could be interesting. Living paycheck to paycheck. I think a lot of people are feeling that. And this is the economy. We say it all the time. The economy's stupid. That is the number one thing. Trump could fix everything else. The Republicans could fix it all, make the world feel great. But if the economy struggles, it doesn't matter. And everything else could go to hell in a handbasket. And if the economy is good, people are like, yeah, we're going to stick with this guy because my checks are good. So we could pretend, like, if you're a 23-year-old girl who lives at home with your mom, then maybe climate change and abortion is a very important thing. If you're 34 and you're married and you got kids and a house and bills, that's a little bit more important.
Economy.
The economy. The economy's stupid. Earlier today, there was a attack in Manchester. This is what it sounded like when they took him out.
Everybody else, get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay with casualties! Everybody else, he has a bomb! Go away!
He's got a bomb on him. He's got a bomb on him. Mate, he's got a Man, he's got a bomb on his jacket, mate. He's trying to go in and now. He's got bombs on him.
Yeah. So they didn't go off, but you're right. I was looking again. It looked like that guy was trying to trigger something or do something.
Yeah, he's writhing around, and he seems to be grabbing or for something on him. And then he actually he gets up.
Yeah.
Or not stands up, but he leans up, but then goes back down, and that's whenever he starts grabbing is whenever they end it.
And the video, there's just people standing there. It's like a little, like you'd see at a little small private school where they got the fence up and people are just like looking through it. Get away. People are so weird.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, those constables were correct in telling people to get back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a vest that blows up, there's going to, who knows what's in it? Not just shrapnel, but nails.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That didn't happen, but still.
Nails. I mean, C4, was it, and were there more? See, originally they thought he had bombs in the car.
Right.
And then they realized he didn't, but they didn't get near him for a while because, they'd put him down, and then they didn't go near him because they thought he could explode. And I don't know if it was activated or if it was real or if it was just a look. Mm-hmm. But
and then that old guy walking by with a cane just smiling.
And it's like his wife grabs him. Get away from there.
He's just out for a stroll.
That's it. Oh, look what they're doing. They just shot a man in the synagogue. So he drove in, hit some people, got out and stabbed some people. And then he got shot. They got there pretty quick.
Yeah, they got there very quick, and it's good because I guess he was headed inside.
Yes. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, there's special units that carry guns all the time. You got to call them, though. It's kind of like, it's like a library card. You got to check them out. But they got there rather quickly, and they put him down fast, too, when they got there. They shot him the first time, and that's when he was on the ground. And then I think they thought, once he kind of got up and, like you said, fiddled around, I think they thought, let's not find out if that thing's real or not.
Right.
We'll ask the question. Don't worry, sir. We'll figure it out for ourselves. But I'm telling you, like you said, France, you're on edge. There's no doubt about that. Belgium, too, is on edge. A lot of countries are, because you've allowed mass of immigration to come into your country, unfettered access to just about anything, and people are sick and tired of it. And you've got a culture of people that do not want to become part of the fabric of who your country is and the culture is. And so this is what's going to happen, and it's going to happen more and more, unfortunately. And it's going to get ugly there, too, because I have a feeling the Brits are let's see what Farage does. I think Farage is going to end up winning the election. And I think that is going to change a lot of things there, because he's already said, we're getting people out of here, and no more people are coming in. And they got to get rid of that digital ID. Oh, what is that about? I'm waiting for it here. Chris and I talked about it yesterday. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch, Twitter, Rumble. You can like and subscribe there. Check me out as well at Chad Benson Show. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. It's day 2 of the federal government shutdown. The next vote to try to end it won't happen until tomorrow at the earliest. Democrats blaming Republicans for not agreeing to stop Obamacare tax credits from expiring at the end of the year. Also, they want to reverse changes to Medicare and Medicaid made in the One Big Beautiful Bill, to which Speaker of the House Mike Johnson says,
Don't ask the Republicans what we should be doing or what we should be negotiating. I don't have anything to negotiate. I sent them in good faith exactly what they had voted for before. We did not put any Republican provisions in that, and we tried to make this very simple.
Again, the next vote may not come until tomorrow, and federal workers will be paid retroactively when the government reopens. We're learning more about the rollout of the Memphis Safe Task Force. Attorney General Pam Bondi says there have been 93 arrests, 28 illegal guns seized in the first 72 hours. President Trump signed that memorandum establishing the task force that includes agents from several federal agencies such as the FBI, DEA, ATF, and ICE, in addition to about 200 National Guard troops. And right now in the UK, 3 people dead, including the man who drove a vehicle into people outside a synagogue in Manchester and then stabbed a security guard.
An attack on our Jewish community today on Yom Kippur is devastating.
That's head of counterterrorism Lawrence Taylor, who says police shot and killed the attacker. They know who the suspect is, but have not released the identity. And he says they've arrested 2 other people. And in money news, a new study from Goldman Sachs claims more Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and retirement is slipping further away. This report claims to have surveyed about 3,600 workers and 1,500 retirees, and finds that 42% of younger Americans, including Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X, say they have no money left after covering basic expenses. Among those struggling, nearly 3/4 say saving for retirement feels out of reach. Back in 1997, just 31% of U.S. workers were in this position. Today, that number has climbed significantly. Goldman Sachs warns it could rise to more than half of all Americans by 2033 due to rising housing and health care costs. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Shape for the weekend. We'll wake up in the 50s and 60s both Saturday and Sunday morning. Both afternoons, we are back in the mid to the upper 80s.
You have issues with your foundation, right? You've got issues in your basement, crawl space, maybe some standing water. USS wants to come out and talk to you. Some of those cracks you can't see. You don't know what's going on down there. Mold, wood rot, things like that. You know what happens when you don't take care of it? It gets so much worse, and something that goes from a little fix becomes very expensive and a nightmare. USS can come out, give you an absolutely free inspection. They're not going to sell you anything you don't need, no unnecessary repairs. They're there to help. 30 years in business, so many 5-star reviews, and they are amazing. So if you're worried about something or you just want to be prepared, right, a little peace of mind, call USS today. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855. Doesn't matter what it is. It's your basement. It doesn't matter if it's your crawl space. It doesn't matter if it's your foundation. Get yourself that peace of mind. Call USS, 615-488-7855 or online at USSTN.com. Check the program. Like hearing from all of you. Thousands of federal workers will likely be fired. Fired! Never come back. So you had 100,000 or so quit the other day because it was the drop dead date where if you were you had to decide whether you wanted to buy out or not, the whole Doge thing. So you had 100,000 people resign the other day. And now you got the opportunity to get rid of more people. And they're going to take advantage of it. I still find it weird that they could send you home, tell you don't have to work. And then when you come back, they pay you and you didn't work. Where the people that are a necessity, they have to work and they're not getting paid either, but they will get paid. So the people that really aren't needed, you get a vacation and paid. The people that are needed, you have to show up and not get paid until everybody gets paid. Yeah, there's an issue there. Just want to point that out. Speaking of an issue, if you guys haven't heard what's going on in Des Moines, this is crazy.
The problems for Ian Roberts, the former superintendent of the Des Moines public school system, began last Friday when ICE detained him for allegedly being in the country illegally. He announced his resignation on Monday and has faced mounting criticism for falsely claiming to hold a doctorate. He now faces a criminal case after federal prosecutors in Iowa charged him with one count of being an illegal alien in possession of a firearm. He's scheduled to appear before a magistrate judge on Thursday afternoon.
So dude was the superintendent, 30,000 kids. 30,000. He took off running. He's got an order to be removed. And you're thinking, how's he superintendent? Oh, it gets better than this. He's got an order to be removed. He takes off. He's got a gun. He's got $3,000 cash and a hunting knife. They take him into custody. He had worked in Philadelphia at some big places as superintendent, as principal. They called him doctor. He was registered to vote, but he never voted. Nobody bothered to check his status. Nobody bothered to check if any of his stuff. The schools now, one school's like, yeah, he got a degree from us, but he didn't get a doctorate. He didn't get a master's degree. And people were like, well, because the first day that happened, by Friday afternoon, people out there, hands off, doctor, whatever his name is, blah, blah, blah. He's not a doctor. He came here on a student visa and then built this life on Wikipedia. The only thing that was true about him is he's got a degree in education or whatever. That's about it. Oh, he did run in the Olympics. He was in I think it was the 800 for Guyana. It's crazy. And then now the parents are going, well, hold on a second. How did you guys not even ask for any of this? Because other places have pointed out, hey, this doesn't seem right. He's not giving us the info we need, but they let him stay. They let him stay. Why? I mean, it's insane. Dude stayed. Dude was registered to vote. Dude lied everywhere. Nobody really questioned it. And you know why? Probably because they thought, oh, it'll be racist if I question it. Because he's from a different country. Even when they asked him last year, and here's the other thing, the cojones that the dude had to do TV interviews all the time is pretty also, that's kind of ballsy. Just flaunted it. Maybe thought he'd never get away with it. Oh, and this is his second gun charge. His first gun charge came in Pennsylvania when he had a shotgun. He went hunting. And it was in the back seat, and there you have to have, your gun has to be unloaded when it's in the car, and it wasn't. And then there was, so 2 gun charges, and now this. And he told everybody, I'm a doctor, and everybody's like, he was doing such a great job. 2 things here. Either you want to think he was doing a great job, or that job really isn't that hard to do. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Yeah, the thing that was crazy about watching that, somebody's like the teachers union, it's a part of it. So, it is. It is a part of the craziness of this world where they are afraid to ask serious questions. A lot of people are. You know, even Ken said it earlier about the guy in Manchester. He's like, he looks like it. He goes, I don't want to sound. It's not. It's what it is. Tom Friedman, who is a super lefty for the Times, when he wrote his book, what was this? The World is Flat or whatever. It was a good book. I read it. It's been a long time. But he went over to like Saudi Arabia and several other places, and they asked him one time, hey, why is it we get profiled when it comes to things like terrorism in America? And he straight up looked at him and goes, look, when 12 Swedes fly themselves into buildings, we'll look at Swedes different than we look at people that look like you. Right or wrong, he was just being honest. So, and these people were probably terrified to say anything because they didn't want to seem like they were insensitive and racist. They went out and picketed and formed, Mr. Roberts is great, Mr. Roberts. And then what happened? Well, come to find out, he wasn't a doctor. He lied, didn't have any of the stuff. Once everybody found out that he had guns, a lot of the parents were like, well, this is a bridge too far for even us. A smidge too far for us. Oh, my Lord. How do we get here, people? How does somebody work? That's the thing I'm always amazed. It's like the people who do sign language and don't know sign language. I am always fascinated by those people. I'm fascinated by the sheer gall to pretend to do sign language when you don't know it, as if nobody's going to see you. That to me is like once a year we find somebody who's pretending to do sign language. And they're not. They don't know sign language. They're just moving their hands around.
Like the guy that was standing next to President Obama back in the day.
Yeah, and the dude who was doing it for, was it L.A. or Oregon when they were, was it California, Oregon when they were talking about the COVID stuff? And did no sign language. None. And to have that kind of confidence that you're not going to get caught at no time. That's what I want to ask you. Dude, at no time did you think, I hope nobody sees this?
Nobody's ever going to know.
No. Nobody's going to know. Yeah, that guy from the doctor, he was $360,000 salary.
Wow.
For pretending to be a doctor and a superintendent.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the guy arrested by ICE.
Yeah, Dr. Roberts. Yeah. What happened to the background check? That's what I want to know.
We trust him.
Yeah. Well, they probably didn't want to say anything because they thought, we're going to be racist because we keep asking him for that because he's from a different country, but he's also from here. The background checks. What happened to the background checks?
And it's in Des Moines.
Yes.
Which is, that's not a small city. It's a medium size, but it's not like it's like a little hick town.
Yeah. Yes. And and it's in the middle of the country, too. So you're thinking to yourself, of all the places who wouldn't feel bad to ask certain questions, no. And like I said, this isn't, he had 30,000 students under him. Again, not a tiny place. It wasn't one of those places where hey, guess what? We got a stop sign. It wasn't one of those. And like I said, Ken, I'm always fascinated by the people that have those kind of get up and absolutely just totally lie. He was never even a doctor.
Look at George Santos.
Yeah.
He got all the way to Congress.
Yeah, he was spectacular. I expect that out of politicians.
Well, yeah.
Remember, he was great. He's like, I was an astronaut. That was right after I won the world championship of volleyball. It was so great. Oh, my Lord. He's in jail right now, right? Didn't he end up going?
I believe so.
Yeah. He's waiting for Trump to pardon him.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know either. You know what I think is going to happen, though? And this is sad. I think Maxwell's going to get out. I think they're going to commute, or her lawyer. So the thing that's going to the Supreme Court, what they're going to listen to, this is interesting. It's kind of the Bill Cosby thing. What she was prosecuted under should have been covered by Epstein's first prosecution, is what they're arguing, which is nobody else can be prosecuted for this. Just him.
Because of technicalities.
Yeah. So, and I saw one of Trump's people last night says, look, I can't talk a lot about this, but you don't move somebody to a place like this and, not have some sort of quid pro quo with them when you're discussing stuff with them. So I'm assuming that they're going to look and see how they can commute the sentence or something. Probably get her out of here immediately. That's what they'll do. They'll commute the sentence and then deport her to London or wherever she's from, Israel. And that would be, that's just, it's awful. Awful. Judge throws out lawsuit over Naked Baby on Nirvana album. Remember that?
Yeah.
That guy sued. The judge threw it out. Finally said, what are we doing? Why are you guys wasting my time with this? What is it that you want? Please tell me. What happened in your life that you were so destroyed over this that somebody saw you swimming naked in a pool? The stuff that we clog courts up with, we need tort reform in this country. We got to start making the people that bring lawsuits like this pay for all of the court. By the way, pay for everybody. If you're a juror and you're missing work, you should have to pay for it. You'd think twice if you thought you were going to lose the case and it was still going to cost you $40,000. You'd be like, I'm not sure I want to bring this case. I'm not sure that would be, no, I'm thinking no. A lot of text coming through. A lot of you talking about Qatar. Some of you are a little worried about that as well. If you guys didn't hear about Qatar, we're going to protect them pretty much at all cost, said Trump, because we're not quite sure. Oh, because of all the investments and whatnot going on over there. Plus, they gave him a plane, remember? We forgot about that. They gave him a plane.
Yeah, where is that plane?
It's getting retrofitted? Because you have to tear that thing all the way down to its shell and rebuild it. Because you have to add all the stuff that's going to protect the president, right? They've got all those, who knows?
He's not going to get on that plane.
Yeah, that thing's never going to be done.
That'll be parked outside his library somewhere.
They should turn it into the library.
Well,
this is what Qatar gave me, was all fed. He'll keep it himself.
At least I don't think you would get on that plane.
No.
I wouldn't.
Hell no. No. But also the cost. What does it cost? What would they call it? $2 or $3 billion to retrofit it? Yeah, no. He's going to give it to his vice president, J.D. Vance. Oh, my goodness. Loser pays. That's right. That's what we need to do. Loser pays. Frivolous lawsuits. Tort reform, getting the loser not just to pay for the inconvenience of the, and the cost to the person that you're suing. You should have to cover the cost of all of the court, including the people that showed up there. I don't care who it is and what it's, I don't care. The judge, right? Everybody, the stenographer, her lunch. Make it so if you lose, and it's frivolous, right? There's got to be a level of frivolousness. But it's lawyers, and lawyers all work with lawyers, so they'll never do that. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit. I think they got Greta Thunberg today, if you guys didn't hear. We'll talk a little bit about that. I think they boarded her ship. This will be interesting. We'll talk about that, among other things. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. All right. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Birch Gold. Why gold? Unsettledness. We got the shutdown going on. You've got rates probably not going to go anywhere because of the nervousness that the Fed's feeling. You've also got a weakening dollar, unsettled global issues. Gold is an important place for you to put your money. Smart money's moving there. They're diversifying. And you're seeing institutions and banks and stuff gobble it up. And the reason is simple. Because they don't trust what's going on. They can't really predict it in a way that normally they can, so they want to protect themselves. And Birch is going to help you with that. Text the word Benson to 989898 now. Birch is going to get you out an info kit It's absolutely free. It's not going to cost you anything. And let you take a look. Maybe you want the physical. Maybe you would like to move an IRA, 401k, or maybe you've got even a savings account that's not really doing anything, and you can get it backed by a IRA backed by gold. It's just a good way to protect yourself in the future, but you got to get the info first. So text the word Benson to 989898 now. Birch will get you out all the info you need. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They're who I swear by, and they're amazing. Text the word Benson to 989898 now for Birch Gold.
Drivers, we've got debris in the right lane. It is 440 eastbound near West End. In Madison, a crash 65 northbound at Dickerson Pike. And then a crash over at the southeastern split, Murfreesboro Pike, right next to I-24. The federal government shutdown keeps going. We're learning new details about the launch of the Memphis Safe Task Force. All this and more coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
They got Greta. They got Greta Thunberg.
How dare they?
How dare you?
Flotilla organizers say that an estimated around 440 people have been taken by Israeli forces, and they are now being taken to a port in Israel. They're expected then at some point to be deported. Israel accused the flotilla of trying to block a lawful naval blockade. The organisers of the flotilla point out that they were in international waters and that Israel has no jurisdiction to intercept them there.
Greta's part of it. You know, Trump's like, look, Bibi, you don't. She's got a bad haircut. I get it. But if something happens to her, we're all going to get the blame. Don't do it. Anybody but her. We'll hear about it forever. Watch out, too, Bibi. She might try to paste herself to something. Yeah, they were warned to. Even the U.S. even said, don't board them. Don't do anything. And they still went and did it. So they took her. They've got her now, along with all these others. They were bringing food. Inspect it. Here's the deal. Inspect it. You don't see any guns on there. Let him float over and give food to everybody. And then, move on. And if they're in international waters like they claim, well, that's also not a good look. Because Spain and Italy now say they're not going to send anything over to Israel. They're going to have a blockade of their own. So none of the dock workers are going to be doing anything. They love going on. There was a strike today in France over the wealth tax. They strike for anything. They protest anything. Rich, they'll protest for you and against you. They don't care. As long as they have a day off of work and they get a march. Speaking of rich, $500 billion. If you guys haven't heard, not us. We're still trying to get our first billion. But $500 billion is what Elon Musk is worth now. That is a good bit of money. You just like, how much cash do you carry around with you? Does anybody carry cash anymore?
I've got a $5 bill.
Yeah. Bell, you look like a cash guy. You might have got a couple bucks, no?
No, I rarely carry cash, and I would argue with one thing you said, that is not mostly money. It's mostly just stocks.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, I bet you, there was a time, even a couple years ago, when he was worth $200 billion, he didn't have any cash. He had to stay at a friend's place for a while because he just didn't have, he wasn't liquid. That's how these guys get rich. That's how you get really wealthy. The rich understand things that the average person doesn't get, and because of the access they have, they avoid paying taxes in a lot of ways. Even though they pay that 1%, they figure out ways that you were just like, what? That's amazing. It is. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. People still mad about Bad Bunny. Wait till you hear now what's going to happen at the Super Bowl, which is in Santa Clara. We found that out earlier. That is in San Francisco area. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler's out of jail early. He was released yesterday from the Williamson County Jail after serving about 2.5 days of a 4-day sentence. The jail time part of a plea deal following his guilty plea to misdemeanor DUI stemming from an October 2024 crash in Franklin. A weapons charge was dropped after Cutler forfeited a handgun found in his vehicle. And as many as 750,000 federal workers have spent their first day at home as a result of the budget impasse in Congress. The longer the furlough lasts, says ABC's Jim Ryan, the greater the pressure on the nation's social service agencies.
Food banks, for example, are preparing to answer new appeals for help in the face of already heavy demand.
Really, during the first 2 weeks after that first paycheck is missed is where we'll start to see folks line up for support.
Sari Votsky heads the Central Texas Food Bank in an area where 76,000 federal, civilian, and military personnel live, including soldiers at the sprawling Fort Hood Army Post. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
There will be a day 3 of the shutdown because the earliest Congress will vote to try to end it won't come until tomorrow because they have the day off today for the Jewish holiday Yom Kippur. Well, new developments emerging from the launch of the Memphis Safe Task Force here in Tennessee. Attorney General Pam Bondi says that within the first 72 hours, the task force made 93 arrests, confiscated 28 illegal firearms. The task force created through a presidential memorandum signed by President Trump, bringing together agents from multiple federal agencies, including the FBI, DEA, ATF, and ICE, with additional support from the National Guard. And officials in Manchester, UK, investigating a car ramming and knife attack that took place outside a synagogue today, one of the Jewish holidays. Here's head of the counterterrorism policing, Lawrence Taylor.
Communities across the UK would normally be marking this holy day are now grieving and worried about their safety.
Lama Hassan has more from London.
This was an absolutely horrific attack. You know, the details are terrifying. We know that police were called after witnesses said that they saw a man driving a car. He then rammed into members of the public. The man wielding a knife then killed at least 2 people. We understand that 3 members of the public are also in serious condition.
So police shot and killed the attacker. Authorities say they know his identity but have not released it, and they say they arrested 2 people. Right now in New Jersey, Rhiannon Alley says there's a new disturbing twist after 2 girls headed home from a school event were killed in a hit and run. Another teen is now charged with their murder.
Prosecutors say 17-year-old Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas were struck by a black SUV just before 5:30 Monday night. The driver allegedly fled the scene but was later apprehended. It was originally reported to be a tragic hit-and-run accident, but 2 days later, authorities arresting a 17-year-old boy, charging him with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of the best friends.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
"90 seconds of shutdown talk, and our time starts now. Still shut down. I don't have 90 seconds. I don't even know what to say at this point. They're not there today. It's Yom Kippur. They're celebrating it. This is a normal day. They're closed. Whoever is polling worse by Monday will blink first. So depending on where you're looking, So both the television folks will show you, if you're on CNN, it'll be Trump's worst. If you're on Fox, it's definitely, it's definitely the Democrats. But they'll have their own internal polling. And if the internal polling says, look, you're starting to lose people, especially the independents, they're going in a certain direction. So the minute that happens and it starts to get that way, because they care so much about, they care about us, Ken. I want you to know that.
I'm glad somebody does.
Yeah, they care about you and I and all of us. It's not just because the polling numbers are bad that they would even for a moment think about coming back to work. They care about us. This is a lie. But the minute that happens, that's it. Isn't that sad that the only way realistically they'll come back is polling numbers? It's who wins. It's who wins in something that it's not about you winning. You're supposed to be for the American people. It's not about you winning. This isn't even some sort of new spending bill where they cut a bunch of stuff. Yeah, stuff's getting kind of cut out. You're fighting over stuff for the future. But this isn't, I'm amazed. I really am. And by the way, Democrats, if you're so frustrated with this and what's going to potentially happen and people losing their health care, then you know what? You give it all to the Republicans. And if they fail and people are going, hey, I got nothing over here. I'm not getting any subsidies, and now I'm paying $1,400 a month for health care. Well, then guess what happens? They'll go after them at the ballot box. And then you could fix it. If it doesn't work out that way, well, you weren't going to win anyways. Ken, what was the thing you were saying? People are living paycheck to paycheck. What was that? I was looking for that one.
Goldman Sachs. Let's see here. A study from Goldman Sachs claims to reveal 42% of younger working Americans, including Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X, say they have no money left after covering basic living expenses. Among those living paycheck to paycheck, nearly 3/4 say they're struggling to set aside anything for retirement. In 1997, that was 31% of workers in that position. But today, this study says that number has grown, and Goldman Sachs is warning it could climb to more than half of all Americans by the year 2033.
That is the big issue right there. Affordability. Groceries have not come down the way that people thought and were hoping.
2 weeks ago, my wife and I spent $100 on 2 days. 2 days worth of groceries.
$100?
Yes.
What'd you get?
Just
caviar.
It just got like some snacky foods. Just stuff that you throw in a crock pot or you put in an air fryer.
Man, I love it. We got an air fryer last year.
Oh, I love it.
Earlier this year. Are those the greatest things ever?
Air fryers and crock pots, baby.
That is all you need in life.
But yeah, it was nearly $100.
So for 2 days, and you're not feeding 20 people.
No, it was my family of 4.
And the wiener dog.
Yeah, little Fritz.
But Fritz probably doesn't eat that much.
No, I don't. We don't give him people food.
That's good. See? Yeah. What do you give him?
I don't know what the name of this stuff is that we give him.
Old Roy?
No, we stepped up from Old Roy and come and get it.
Poor Old Roy.
That's what the first batch of wiener dogs got in the Weaver household was Old Roy and come and get it.
And
they lived till they were 16.
Because Old Roy works, kids. Telling you guys, Old Roy's always there for you. When you need Old Roy, he's there.
Little Bentley Boo and Lady Clotilde, they loved it.
The cost of life is, do you feel safe with your job? That's a big deal for a lot of people. And by the way, new tariffs are going in. That is going to be an issue. The farmers are still upset. They don't want a bailout or a handout, they keep saying. What they want is the opportunity to, they look at these tariffs. And China, by the way, the soybean farmers and all can you believe what we just did? We gave money to Argentina, $20 billion to bail him out and Scott Bessen's friend, and a bunch of other people that went in to Argentina and invested money. We gave them $20 billion to hold them steady. And the next day, they took off their tariffs with China and sold them soybeans while our farmers struggle. This is the kind of things that frustrates people. And it's, when you hear Ken say, it's $100 for a couple days of snacks and food, not like you're going out. You're not eating at the, you didn't go out last night to Ruth Chris. Beef is going up. People, these are the things that you've got to have right. All the other stuff that we talk about, the cartel battles that they're going to happen now, and the wars that potentially could happen to Israel, and could he get Ukraine and Russia? Those things, they're not here first. And that's the thing. It's a cost. And if you've got more and more people living paycheck to paycheck, and every year, how many times do we hear, and we're hearing it more and more, that people can't afford, like if their tires, they need new tires. People, because tires are so damn expensive. I mean, how many people can afford that $1,000 emergency? That's, and a lot of people will, I can. I know a lot of people can, but there's a lot of people that can't. And guess what? Their vote counts too. And that's the way you have to look at it. Their vote counts too.
I mean, we can afford it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That it costs that much.
Yeah. That
used to be about $50 tops for the stuff that we bought.
I know. I tell my wife, Laura, look, I love the kids, but we don't have to feed them all the time. I mean, Lily she already eats like a supermodel, so we're fine with that. Charlie, you know what? She's fine with, Reese's peanut butter cups once a day. Should be good with that. Although we had some today. Can we just be honest? What did you say, Ken?
It's the best candy bar ever made.
When we go to heaven, what happens?
There will be Reese's peanut butter cup flowers that you'll just be able to pluck off the side of the golden roads.
Yeah. That's it. That's the beauty of that. You just walk by and you're like, hold on a second. I'd like one of these. Those are just the greatest. And then it would rain donuts. Not bagels, Chad. Oh, stop with that. Donuts would be great. Do you remember I didn't watch many of The Simpsons, but I remember one time Homer went into the alternative life and everything was perfect. And then they said something, he said, I can't wait to have a donut. And they go, what's a donut? And then and he went back to the regular life, and then it started to rain, and it rained donuts. So, yeah, that would be good donuts, too. None of those weird donuts. One of those fancy donuts. And the other thing is healthcare, guys. The healthcare cost. People always say, you're harsh on Trump or you're harsh on this. You know what I am? I care about us. I care about the American people. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If life sucks, and life doesn't suck for some people, it's great. By the way, there's a lot of people, it doesn't matter what the economy's like, who's running it, they're always going to be fine. But I want Trump to succeed. And sometimes you got to look up and say, all right, we're going to get rid of some of this stuff. 22 million Americans are going to see in excess of 115 to 130% jump in their healthcare cost. That's a kick in the grundle. I said yesterday, you better put a cup on. And the cost of groceries, we're still waiting. That was immigration. He's done great at. We could sit here and the battle of ICE and all that kind of stuff. That's a lot of craziness, and the Democrats, because they need something to fight against. But it's still going to be about the cost of living. And the fact that you're going to see healthcare shoot up. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the work requirements. I'm talking about people who are on healthcare but get some sort of Obamacare subsidies. And everyone's like, you shouldn't get those. Yeah, well, government shouldn't have been involved in healthcare, and they sure shouldn't have allowed the insurance industry to craft it, which is what they did. And Obamacare, like it or not, it's here. It's here. And when the Republicans had an opportunity to get rid of it, they never really had an alternative plan. And now they didn't get rid of it. So it's here. I mean, you would like to think it would be gone and we can actually open it up to a marketplace where we could go across state lines. I don't know why I can't have the opportunity to shop my plan somewhere. But alas, this is where we're at. And if you go from $400 a month to all of a sudden $800, $1,000, $1,500 a month for your insurance, that's going to take a bite out of you. And that's what people are looking at. And that's a lot of people. And you couple that in like with the grocery side of things, which is, I try not to go and look at grocery prices. That's why, you know what I tell my wife now? We just order everything online. Because if we go there, I have, you go to the grocery store, I'm just going to stick to what I got right here written down. And then you get home, you're like, oh man, I forgot half the stuff on my list. And that's a nightmare. Because then you're like, oh. So I say, you know what? Let's order. That way we don't have to go anywhere. And we will stick to what's on the list.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I ran across a 12-pack of ginger ale.
Okay.
It was nearly $9.
Oh, my God. For ginger ale?
Yes. I used to be able to get that for almost $5.
That's...
Again, I can afford it, but I don't want to pay that much.
No.
It's ridiculous.
I went and got a Sprite today, just a Sprite, like a Diet Sprite from the little store over here. It was like $3.49. I'm like, is there heroin in my Sprite? What is it? What's it got, a street value? I don't remember that. And again, it's not about the good old days when everything cost a nickel. It's just a few years ago, things weren't so expensive. And yes, we printed a ton of money and we handed it out to a bunch of people and told them not to stay home. And we shouldn't have done that. The first time, I was cool with it with Trump. I said the second time, he shouldn't do it and he should have stayed strong. And there's no way Biden should have ever done it. And then we accelerated inflation. And then we've got moves here that haven't really mitigated what's happening. And like you said, you spend it, how much was it? 12? $10, $12?
Almost $9.
$9 for ginger ale.
That's just a 12-pack.
Who makes ginger ale? Schweppes?
A bunch of people.
Great value?
Unfortunately, I don't think they do. I need to look into that.
You should, because I bet their ginger ale is good. It's probably only $8.23.
It's probably $8.59.
Yeah, whatever weird things. They always have those weird numbers, right? You'd pay normally $2.99. Here, you'll pay $2.47. Right down to the penny. Right down to the penny. Coming up, we'll talk a little about what happened in Manchester. We've also got that incident that took place at the Davis School Board with the lady stripping. But the gender battles go on. Netflix, Elon tweeting stuff out. We'll talk about that as well. If you're missing the show, we always say shame on you. Reach out to us across all of our social media. You can reach out to me at Chad Benson Show. This is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Raycon, best earbuds around. Cool to be cool with Raycons. Classic earbuds are awesome at a price that won't break the bank. With the holidays coming up, you're saying to yourself, what can I do? How about this? 20% off, 30-day happiness guarantee, right? So you're unhappy, you send them back. Get the classic earbuds. They are amazing. The fit is incredible. No stems, no wires. You're going to feel like there's nothing in your ear, and you can control it with all kinds of sound mode. Bass sound mode. They got sound modes like active noise cancellation, where you don't have to listen to anything, or what I like, the awareness mode. They've got all these great things. 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life, fast charging. You will love it. So what I want you to do, go to buyraycon.com/Chad right now. Save 20%. Get yourself these amazing earbuds, the classic earbuds, but see everything they've got. Make great holiday gifts. Tons of cool colors. I've got black ones, and I've got mint. Very nice indeed. That's buyraycon.com/Chad. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
All right, drivers, we got a crash 24 westbound right after Murfreesboro Pike. Look for this in Franklin. This road has been closed for road work. That's Wilson Pike between Clovercroft Road South and Clovercroft Road North. And in Wilson County, part of Bender's Ferry Road is going to be closed indefinitely following a serious crash involving injuries. Traffic there being rerouted at Mays Chapel Road and Sanford Drive. And the Trump administration says we are now in an armed conflict with drug cartels. That's coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Let's see here. People are chiming in. First of all, people want to know, are you going to go to the wiener dog races?
Where are they at?
Oktoberfest? I don't know. Somebody said, ask Ken if he's going to the wiener dog races.
I might do that.
Heck yeah.
Whole bunch of little wieners.
Just running around. That is funny. Grocery prices are too high. There's no doubt people are saying that. This is $22 for 12 Red Bull.
Wow.
Cat litter went from $12.45 to $21.
Yeah.
The cat litter's insane. I'm like, look, dude, we're going to go out and start getting you some dirt from the backyard. Yeah, that is just insane. Insane, the cost of, $18 for a Subway sandwich meal from Subway?
I believe it.
Somebody said a 6-inch sandwich with chips and a drink at Subway is almost like $18. I just started packing my own lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, Germantown it's going to be, the wiener dogs.
That's a perfect place for it.
That's right.
Bunch of little dachshunds.
Running around.
Bunch of little furry weenies.
That is crazy. Love the wiener. I like the pig races. I like the pig races too. You ever seen the pig races at the fair? And then they give out bacon to the winner? Which is hilarious. My mom used to give bacon to hers, which was so funny. He'd eat anything. She goes, watch this. I'm like, this is gross. Let's see here. Yeah, inflation is pretty much a nightmare, and everybody understands that. And you got to give some of this stuff time to work. But Trump doesn't have super time to work. That's just it.
No, we're very impatient.
Well, yeah. Well, we live in an instantaneous society, TikTok and whatnot. You know, I mean, people are mad. They get on the weight loss drug, and they're like, why don't I look like an Adonis? I took it 2 weeks ago. No, we're an impatient group. But when you're trying to keep your head above water, that's a big deal. And if, somebody just said they got their oil change, tire rotation, it was almost $300.
What?
Yeah. Rachel downstairs, she went and got like the fluids, the oil change stuff. She said it was like $359, $369. She had like a coupon.
Was this like brake fluid too? Or
I don't know. Maybe it was windshield. I asked her, was it windshield wiper fluid? What was it? She goes, I think they took advantage of me. I said, no. I said, I went and got mine, rotation and stuff, and it was super expensive. I was surprised. I'm like, I could have done it myself.
I'm paying about $120 right now for oil change and tire rotation.
So, ribeye steak, $25 a pound at Kroger.
Yeah.
One steak, $32.
I've seen that.
Man, that is...
I mean, and again, I can afford it, but man, there's a lot of folks out, they cannot.
No, they can't. They cannot afford it. And, somebody just said, look, steak is too expensive now. I'm getting ground turkey.
Yeah.
And it is, like you said, affording it, just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should have to, you're not seeing any breaks. And everybody's like, well, or somebody just said, well, pay is going up too. Pay may be going up, but if you can't keep up with the inflation, you're still losing out. That's it. That was one of the big things with Biden. You could talk about real pay is going up. Yeah, but it's going up 3 or 4%, but inflation's up 10%, so you're losing 6%. You're losing it. Plus, the dollar is weakening. Trump's going to keep the dollar kind of down a little bit because foreign investment. People are more apt to buy here or invest here if they think their money's going to go a little bit further. And several people, dude, healthcare. I am so glad.
That's the one, man.
This guy goes, I pay $2,000 a month for healthcare. I mean, not healthcare, and somebody said childcare.
I'm telling you, my wife and I, we sacrificed a lot whenever our kids were little because we just did not want to pay for childcare.
Yeah.
And so Jennifer was a stay-at-home mom.
We're lucky. My wife can stay at home. She doesn't, we're blessed. She gets mad because I work a lot, but I'm like, oh, you can go get a job. Kids can watch themselves. But, they're homeschooled and they do that stuff. But how do you afford that? If you got a couple kids, I mean, because you have to also start asking yourself, is it worth it? If both of you are making, $25, $30 an hour and your kids you got a couple kids, the next thing you know, you look up and you're like, okay, we're essentially, one of us could work and one of us could stay home. We're going to end up the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much how it would have gone is, my wife's check probably would have just gone to childcare. So might as well just stay at home.
Yeah, exactly.
And be there for your kids when they're home from school and that sort of thing. That's huge.
That is such a big thing. So my kids love the fact that, my mom's there and they do a lot of fun stuff. They go to museums. They do all kinds of stuff. It's kind of a little bit of a European thing. They'll do work late at night sometimes to stay up, and then they'll do a bunch of work in the morning and in between during the day. They get to do stuff, and we travel a lot, so they're kind of for the job and stuff. So they've been pretty blessed, and I've been so happy for that. But I look around, I think, man, the cost of life. Could you imagine having 2 or 3 kids where you've got to pay that much money for them to go to daycare, and then insurance? And that insurance is going to go up.
Dude, I got a 25-year-old daughter and a 25-year-old future son-in-law, and they're doing okay, but they cannot afford a house.
No.
I mean, they cannot. It's unattainable.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
That is unattainable. So there is and maybe we'll talk about it when we come back. I did a big deep dive into like going back 40 years, because everybody talked about, 40 years ago, you could afford it on this, this, and this compared to today. And the numbers are pretty stark. The numbers are pretty stark, especially when it comes to the thing that matters of getting that house, which is that down payment, how long it takes you to get that, which is also, a weird thing because as you're saving for that target's also moving. So that's a scary thing. We'll talk about that and what went on at the Davis School Board. And Netflix and trans issues, all kinds of stuff. Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And again, Wilson County drivers, part of Bender's Ferry Road is going to be closed indefinitely following a serious crash involving injuries. Traffic being rerouted at Mays Chapel Road and Sanford Drive. The Highway Patrol there currently on this scene investigating. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. The Trump administration now says the country's in an armed conflict with drug cartels. According to a Pentagon memo sent to Congress today, the administration has officially declared a non-international armed conflict with cartel groups, labeling them as non-state armed groups and their members as unlawful combatants. Here in Middle Tennessee, former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler out of jail early from the Williamson County Jail after serving part of a 4-day sentence tied to a DUI plea deal. The charges stemmed from an October 2024 crash in Franklin. Cutler's plea included probation, a fine, a DUI course, and a 1-year license suspension. A weapons charge was dropped. We're learning new details about the launch of the Memphis Safe Task Force. Attorney General Pam Bondi reports in the first 72 hours, the task force has made 93 arrests and seized 28 illegal firearms. Welcome to cold season. ABC's Jim Ryan says infection rates are rising to their highest level since 2022.
At the pharmacy where Jonathan Harwood works, he sees it every year.
A lot of cough, runny nose, sneezing, some fever.
Considering the current uptick in the common cold coincides with the start of flu season, Dr. Rishma Shan says,
I am worried about what's going to happen in the winter months.
And if your cold symptoms last more than 3 days, she recommends seeing a physician. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
And it's not a cold that is impacting a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, which has returned to Miami after nearly 100 passengers contracted norovirus. Nasty.
Oh, that's a pooper.
Woo. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Let me tell you something. As we talk about the dollars and cents, some of you getting close to retiring, and Beacon wants to help you out with that. And there's a lot of things that go into retiring. A lot of times everybody thinks it's just the dollars and cents, but there's so many other things, like taxes, for instance, which they can help you with. The one big, beautiful, very big bill has a lot of stuff, like up to $6,000 tax deductions for seniors over the age of 65. It's not a total phase out, but there is opportunities here for you to take advantage of it, but this isn't going to last forever. Same thing with things like the car loan interest and above-line charitable deductions, all things that you can do with Beacon because they'll help you with that, things that you don't know about. Then you go and you look, oh, well, what if you need health care, estate planning, long-term care, very important, tax planning, and so much more. Beacon can help you with any of those things. Call them today. Tell them I sent you. They'll sit down with you, break bread, and no hard sale. Just going to get you all the information you need. 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303. It's a free personalized financial consultation. You can also visit them online at beaconcm.com or call 615-488-9303 for Beacon Capital Management. This is a paid placement. Me? You got to point at me. Relief Factor. I'm kidding, man. It's awesome. The other day, I was a little sore. I worked out hard, and I forgot to take my Relief Factor. And if you guys, I'm going to tell you what it is. Natural. You take it every single day. It is awesome. And I took it, and within about 40 minutes, I felt amazing. My aches and pains went away, the soreness, because I'm trying to work out. Got a pickleball tournament coming up, trying to do a lot of things. And it is great to know there's something out there that I can take on a daily basis that keeps me feeling good. Really good, especially as you get a little bit longer in the tooth. So I want you to try it. It's less than a cup of coffee a day. They got a 3-week quick start, and it's $19.95. and you can take it every single day. And the way it works is it's got all these like natural things, omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, curcumin, acarin, all this stuff. And it supports the inflammatory response inside of the body with a metabolic pathway, which is totally cool. I don't know what it means, but they tell me it's really cool. All I know is it works. My wife uses it on a daily basis as well. Take a couple pills, and it's amazing. Try it now. You're going to feel so much better in a natural way. And it is awesome, too, when you start to realize, oh, my gosh, my muscles don't hurt anymore. My soreness is gone. It's called Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get yours today. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF, 800, the number 4-RELIEF for Relief Factor. You know, Ken, as we're talking about money, so many people were saying, you know, oh, you should do your oil yourself. This guy goes, I did my oil myself. It still cost me $70 with the oil filter and the oil. Another guy goes, it was $19.99. That's what they got it advertised for. I left there. It was $180.
I tell you, I should invest in a really good jack and do it myself because from what I understand, I think there, if I'm not mistaken, the auto parts stores will take your, you know, the oil that you're tossing out. That's been my big thing. I don't want to pay to dispose of my oil, and I don't want to pour it down the, you know, the drain in the street.
No, you want to do that because then it ends up inside the lakes and places they're not supposed to.
But from what I understand, and you know, maybe somebody on the chat line can let me know, but I think at least one of the auto parts stores around this place will take your discarded oil. That would be cheaper.
Well, yeah, you talk about that. Like when you go places, I remember I was in California and my battery went out. They come and I get a new battery. And then they charge me like $35 to dispose of my battery. I'm like, well, wait a minute here. What if I don't want to give it to you? Well, we're still charging you for it. Yeah. I'm like, good God, this is insane.
Now, I do not let the dealerships or anybody else change out my filters, like the cabin and the engine filter.
Yeah.
That is so easy to do.
Yeah, but normally you don't do that. You kind of do everything at once.
Right.
So if you're taking it somewhere and then, well, if we're going to do it all, might as well do it all at once. Those things may be easy, but it's not like you just stop by a auto parts store and grab those. You know, not everybody does. They figure, well, if I'm going to do it all at once, it's going to be the oil, it's going to be this, that, and the other.
Now, I one time paid, I saw it was like $50 or $60 to change my engine filter, and I went, what? No. I'll pay the cost of it, which is about, $20, and I'll put it in myself.
Smart.
I got you both beat if you want a story.
All right, let's hear it, Brother RJ.
So I was in rural Missouri. My car dies at a laundromat. I need a jump. There's an auto parts store across the street. I walk over to them and I say, hey, can you guys just send someone over to jump my car? And they go, sure, that's going to cost you $65.
To jump your car?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I had to call a friend who drove 30 minutes out of town to come find me.
Did you have cables?
I had cables at the time, but they were busted.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Got to have them jumper cables, man, just in case.
That is nuts. That is like 70, 50, $10, $5. Dude, I'll buy. You know what? Because if you come over and you jump it, I'll buy you dinner. Here's $10. Well, that's not dinner anymore. Here's a soda.
I was getting ready to say, dude, that's a 12-pack of ginger ale.
Somebody goes, I went to the McDonald's dollar menu. It was like $15. I go, it is. It's $1 15 times you get them for your McRib or whatever they've got going on over there.
Hey, one thing I'll give McDonald's, man, is they are coming down.
They're trying.
I mean, at least they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying because they're losing because people are making choices that they didn't make 2, 3, 4 years ago.
I mean, I think McDonald's is saying, we might as well get something.
Yeah, something's better than nothing. We got all these fries made.
Which, boy, they do have good fries.
They do, made with angel tears.
Angel tears.
That's what he used to say. You know why these are so good? They're made with angel tears.
Angel tears and MSG.
Oh, it's so good. It is. Even people that are she, if you've never had a French fry like that, you're missing out. Because when they're piping hot and they're salted just right, oh, baby.
Yes, sir.
That's America.
America.
The gender madness. So there was a couple. So if you guys haven't seen the lunacy of, I guess Elon got mad, said everybody should cancel Netflix because of this show. And I continue to go and say, first of all, why do you have any of these kind of things for kids? Okay, you don't need the any gender stuff for children.
No,
I mean, you don't. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the show. By the way, the show he's like cancel Netflix. The show's been out for 3 years. I don't think they make it anymore. But it had to do with, they were a ghost show. They were hunting ghosts, I guess. And I'm sitting there laughing going, okay, well, what's this have to do with hunting ghosts?
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place.
Goodness.
I can just be Barney. And I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots.
Why?
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
That has nothing to do.
No. Nothing. Zero to do with anything that like I said, what was the Hillary Swank movie that she played? She played the guy that got killed. I think it was in Montana or Wyoming. I forget what it was called. Some of you guys might read out on the text line. Okay, that was an actual true story based on something. And it wasn't pushing an agenda, by the way. There was nothing about that.
It was based on what really happened.
What really happened. And it wasn't made for children.
Yeah.
This is made for kids.
Yeah,
there's a big issue right there.
That's insidious.
Yeah, it is. There's no reason to be talking about anything. I went my entire life watching Scooby-Doo as a child. Never once knew any of their sexual identities. The only thing I knew was Shaggy was a stoner. That's it. Only thing I knew. That was the only thing. That was it. I thought Thelma and them were kind of hot. I didn't know anything other than that. That's it. I didn't know anything other. I didn't know what Bugs Bunny identified as.
Well, Daphne was hot.
Daphne was hot too. They were both hot.
Thelma?
Yeah. You know what makes Thelma pretty hot now?
What?
People who dress up and go to those Comic-Cons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're dressed. But I didn't know what their identity was. I didn't know what Fred's identity was. I didn't care.
No, it wasn't even on the radar when we were kids.
There's no need for it. And it's not, and the funny thing is, so I've got friends who are gay. My old producer who retired, gay. One of my best friends in the world, love him. My first producer that I worked with when I was in Palm Springs, when I started doing my radio show a long time ago, still a good friend of mine, gay. He used to say this all the time. I don't get the trans stuff. They feel like they hijacked the LGBT community, right? They feel like they completely hijacked it. And it has nothing to do with the kids. It has all to do with power. It's about getting people to do things and use that power. It became an activist tool because all the gays wanted was marriage equality and to be able to have equality inside of the workplace, to not be fired if they were gay. That's what they wanted. They didn't want all this other stuff.
The vast majority of gay people, and I've got gay people in my family, and I love them dearly, and they are nothing like what you see in the media. They're nothing.
No.
Like what you see at some of these pride parades where they're, running around in assless chaps and things like that, and they don't like it.
No, they don't, because they feel like all that they worked for to try to get equality is, outdone by people who want to make a point and shock. And that's, you can't have that. That doesn't do anything. And the number one thing is stay away from kids. That's it.
Yep.
Stay away from kids And I was telling my mom the other day, if I was 16 today and I was in school, I'd tell everybody I'm a girl. Why? Because I'm in the girls' locker room. You guys can laugh at me all you want. You call me Chadwina. Now, if you don't mind, the girls' volleyball practice just finished. It's when you're 16, we never get to ask the girls how they feel about this. They force it. They threaten. It's all about keeping you quiet. It's all about a power structure and getting you to bend to their will by saying, yes, a person with a penis can be a woman. And it's not about treating those kids. They're getting taken advantage of. And by the way, we're not only are people going, and my wife follows this guy who was trans for a long time, and now he is gone and is reversing everything. But the hormones, there are things he's never going to be able to do again in his life. And we're finding out that. But one of the things that's been talked about for a long time is kids who are struggling, in particular, some kids who have autism in a major way. That is a big deal. And a lot of these kids are lost in what was normally something where a kid may be a cutter or they may be bulimic or anorexic and have some depression. Now it is this that they push you to. That's why you had that mom at the Davis school board just drop trow in front of everybody into her bikini. She wanted to make everybody feel uncomfortable. She goes, now you know how these young girls feel. Because they did feel uncomfortable. Well, a couple of them did. A couple of the guys were like, hey, how you doing? But this is the insanity we live in, and it's getting pushed, and it is about power structure, getting people to do something they know inherently is against their will, and they know it's not true and real, and forcing them. If you're 23, 24, and you want to go and get rid of the twigs and berries, do all the other stuff, and you're not going to hurt anybody, knock yourself out.
You're an adult.
Do it.
Do whatever you want.
If you're going to push this on kids, this is why Trump, and this is why Democrats, you continue to lose. All right, coming up, we're going to wrap up the program. Cameron's in again today, I believe. So we'll talk, not to him, because as I always say, why didn't you come in? He's like, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about. So we'll talk about something else when we get back. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997. Wrapping it up on this most amazing Thursday. A lot of people, apparently, Ken, a lot of people say you can go to O'Reilly's and a few other places and drop off your oil.
That's what I thought.
So
I just need to get a good jack. I mean, I've got a good jack. I just don't, I don't have a garage. We live in a townhome, so, our cars are just parked out front, in a parking lot. And I just don't have I don't know why I would need a garage. I guess I could just jack it up right out there in the parking lot and do it.
Right out there.
But here's the thing. I can't check all the other things that I need checked.
Yeah.
And I really trust my dealership. I love my dealership. I mean, so many times they have actually saved me from spending more money than I needed to. And that's why I trust them.
Yeah. I mean, and that's it. You know what? When you find somebody you trust when it comes to like people, well, not you and I can, but regular people get haircuts, you'll go back to that person over and over again. Same thing with your car. You find that person that you trust with your car that you know is not screwing you, you'll go back to that person over and over again because of that relationship and that trust.
So I like getting everything else checked.
Yeah.
And taken care of.
The battery, $35 for the battery? You're taking my old battery? And you're charging me so you could go strip it down for whatever you're going to do? You're charging me that much money? Never mind, I hold it on myself. We're still charging you? What? Oh, good goodness.
Plus, my dealership has good snacks and coffee.
Yeah, you always need that. The tool places have to have hot dogs, popcorn, and something to drink. And the dealerships always have to have donuts and coffee. That's it. Otherwise, it don't work, man. It don't work. It don't
And I mean, you can even get dark roast at my dealership.
Well, settle down.
And it's free.
You just go there every day and eat and drink?
Stop
like,
it.
Ken, you got to leave, man. We can't. You're eating us out of. You just got to stop.
What's funny is I bet I could do that until eventually one of the sales guys would say, Weaver, stop.
Or buy a new car.
They would recognize that I was doing
Or buy a new car.
Yeah.
Because if you bought a new car, they're like, we'll give you an extra 8 months of free snacks on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Free. Come on. Buy that new car. What was it? Did you say Jay Cutler got to jail early?
Yeah, he had a 4-day sentence for a DUI last year. And he apparently got out after serving 2.5 days.
They should have sentenced him to a Sunday behind the Titans O-line.
That's cruel and unusual.
That's cruel and unusual. It's like, sorry. We're getting ready to execute that lady here, huh? We got that coming up?
Yeah, looks like it.
Tennessee.
A woman and I think 3 other inmates.
3 other, yeah, I think it's 4. They set their dates. And they set a date for a guy in 2 weeks in Texas. And Robert Robinson, I think his name is, or Robertson, it was a shaken baby thing, and they sentenced him to death. The thing is, after him, all of the data and science changed based on that. And now they want to reopen the case because other people that were sentenced after him, they threw their cases out because it didn't fit what she was really doing. Man, if you're going to execute somebody in a day when we have all the science we have, you better make sure it's right. There is no more reason for oopsie. I mean, they just freed that guy from the yogurt shop killings. They were a big deal in Texas. He was on death row for 29 years because of DNA.
Man.
29. You're not
Can
getting.
you imagine that? You
get
gone.
no time back in life. That's why it's the most precious commodity on earth. You could give him $10 million. You know what? It's not buying back 29 years. It isn't. All right, coming up, Cameron Smith in for Matt. Guess what? I see Friday. We'll do it again tomorrow.
$3:00 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. The Trump administration now